Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I tour review, and today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Jango Fett figure from Hasbro. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've been seeing with all the 6-inch Black Series figures this year. You've got the black box with the red background. You've got the Star Wars The Black Series logo up at the top. The figure's clearly displayed in the window box packaging, and then you've got an image of the character along with the name down below. On the side of the packaging we have the red border, and it tells us this is figure number 15 in the series. And then on the back we have a brief bio in multiple languages. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now this figure, along with the other figures in this wave, which is wave 5, is starting to hit retail shelves now. So this figure, and then the Force Awakens Han Solo, the First Order Flame Trooper, and Finn and Stormtrooper disguise are all starting to hit retail shelves at places like Walmart. You can also pre-order this wave at Big Bad Toy Store. We'll have a link in the description below, and they should be getting it in any day now. So if you don't want to try and hunt around for these, I recommend you just pre-order them from someplace like there. The figure comes with a number of items, including his signature pistols, and these are very thin and they're done with a kind of rubber type plastic, so they do have some bending to them. The top part of the gun is done with a metallic silver, and then the handle is done with a baby blue color, and there's a hole cut out in the middle of the handle. Now because of the soft plastic, when you're sticking them in his hands, the handles will maybe bend a little bit on you, but once you get it in his hand, he holds it nice and tight. He's got trigger fingers for both hands, so he holds the weapons. And then he's got the working gun holsters, so you can get both weapons in his holsters, just like on the 3 1/4 inch figure. And the weapon, both pistols are exactly the same. They are identical to one another. Now besides the pistols, he also has the jetpack, and the jetpack is removable. It's got 3 pegs on it, and then there's 3 holes on his back, so it will hold the jetpack nice and tight, and you can't really turn it or anything when it's on his back. You've got the short missile in the middle, and then the 2 jets on the side, and this is done with the metallic silver and the darker blue and the baby blue colors. Now on mine, when I took it out of the packaging, the jets at the bottom, the thrusters at the bottom came out a little bent, but again, kind of with that soft plastic, but you should be able to straighten those out without too much of a problem. Finally, he comes with a removable helmet. The helmet is done with a metallic silver, and you've got the dark blue and the light blue and the black in the middle for the eyepiece. He's got the viewfinder, which is not removable or not movable. It doesn't move at all. It is done with that kind of soft rubber plastic, but mine at least came out of the packaging pretty straight. And on the silver, he's got a lot of, looks like scuff marks. They've done some wash, it looks like, to give it scuff marks. And you find this throughout the figure. I would almost say they kind of overdid it with the scuff marks, but in some places it looks a little overdone. On the helmet, it's not too bad. And then he's even got a little dent at the top of his helmet, which is pretty cool. Now, he has, for the face sculpt, I think they've done a good job with this. I think it looks very true to the actor. And of course, this is the same face that all the clones have in the prequels. So, unfortunately though, if you were thinking about wanting to switch this head with one of your clone figures, like Commander Cody or even the regular clone, it won't work because the balls on the clone figures are too big, and so the head will not fit on those figures. I do have a little bit of a splotch mark on my figure here at the neck. Looks like some silver from the helmet has rubbed off. But otherwise, you know, not too bad as far as the paint apps on the head. And again, I think they've done a really nice job with the face sculpt on this one. So for the rest of the figure, you've got pretty nice sculpting detail with the armor pieces, the chest piece. Again, as I mentioned, on the silver, you've got a lot of scuff, looks like scuff marks throughout. On the chest, I think it looks pretty good. He's got the wrist gauntlet, so on the one, I believe this was a flamethrower, and he's got the little wires that go from his sleeve to the gauntlet. And this one is just basically all metallic silver. And then the other one, which I think is a wrist laser, also has the wires that go from the arm to the gauntlet. But this one has a little more paint detail. It's the silver, and then you've also got some black and gold. The hands are just solid black. The hair is solid black on the head. You've got the armor pieces sculpted on the front. Now down here near his feet, you definitely got more scuff marks and stuff, washwork for the scuff marks. And here's where I think it's maybe a little overdone. I guess it depends on how you like your figure, but this armor definitely looks like it's been through some wear and tear. And then the gun belt itself is a separate piece. It's not removable, but you've got the pouches sculpted on the belt around his waist, which look pretty good. So the figure stands almost 6 inches exactly. Now if you count to the tip of the viewfinder, it's more closer to 6 1/4 inches tall. Here he is next to the Black Series Boba Fett figure, and these two figures are almost identically the same height, which is good since Boba Fett is basically a clone of Jango, so they should be the same height. And then here he is next to the Black Series Episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Jango is a bit taller than Obi-Wan. So articulation on this figure is pretty good. The head is on a ball hinge joint, so he can look left and he can look right. And even with the helmet on, he's got good up and down movement with the head, which is nice. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulders. Now he's got these shoulder pads, but that really doesn't limit him getting his arm out. He can get it out pretty good, and he's still got good rotation there at the shoulder. He's got a bicep swivel. He's also got a swivel at the elbow, and then he's also got a swivel at the basically at the gauntlet, where the gauntlet starts. This I think is done. They've given him all these swivels on the arm so that you can still turn the arm, but you don't end up ripping out the wires that go from the arm to the gauntlet. So that's nice. He's also got swivels at the wrist, and he's got hinges at the hand, so he's got good up and down movement with the hands. He does not have an ab crunch of any type. He does have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with ball joints, so he can do the splits about that much. He can get his leg forward that much, and he can't really do his leg back very much at all. He's got a thigh swivel, which is limited a little bit because of those holsters that attach to the leg to the waist. But he still can swivel pretty good there at the thigh. He's got a double jointed knee, so he's got good bending at the knee, and then he's got the hinges on the feet, so he's got good up and down movement with the feet, and he does have ankle pivot. And then 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this figure. I like the detailing with the sculpting. I like the face sculpt, and I like the removable helmet. Some of the paint applications are a little iffy in places, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty solid figure. And if you're a fan of the character, I think it's one you'll definitely want to add to your collection. Now, as I mentioned before, this figure, along with the rest of the wave, is starting to hit shelves now. Places like Walmart are getting it in. And we'll have a full gallery of images up at JediInsider.com. There's a link in the description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.